Hello, Cristina.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Today, with Cristina as a support telepath and me as an external hypnosis operator, we will present you the investigative cycle number 291, the first protocol. Cristina does not know today's subject to not contaminate the information. And yes, as you already know, the investigations are in two parts. We have the fixed part with fixed questions that we cannot modify or deepen. And you can also find the questions in the description box below this video. And we have the exploration part, the free exploration part, in which we will dive deeper in Christina's answers from the first part. If you want to contact me for a personal session, you can send me an email to ioanasima.hre@gmail.com, and you can find all my personal details also in the description box below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. And we can start. Christina, you can get ready.
Let's go.
On the count of three, observe the characteristics of the energy field of transhumanized human beings and describe what you perceive. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so I reach a moment where I see a subliminal part traveling, and okay, can you give me more details about this concept of transhumanized? Because I don't think I'm getting the amount of information I need
It's
to
a
describe.
person that has artificial parts, mechanisms that are not his, that are industrial. For example, Neuralink
Oh,
and
so
chips and something like that.
it's not about medical devices like
It can
implants.
be. It
It
can be
can. So
medical
anything
devices.
on this area, okay.
Yes, yes. So on the count of three, observe the characteristics of the energy field of transhumanized human beings and describe what you perceive. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so I reached to a human subject. This person got an artificial heart transplanted to him. So
Mhm,
this is about an experiment um, of a few students or people from our country. Um, so basically, I see a part of him missing in the sense that uh, so not only in the physical body, but also it's affecting other bodies like energetical body especially because something is missing there. So basically, it was replaced with something artificial.
mhm,
So basically, this artificial heart is helping the physical body be alive, stay alive for longer. But it's um, it's like I'm seeing a piece, and energetical speaking, I see a piece missing. So that person is not entirely functioning at
mhm.
its full capacity as before.
Okay. We'll get into details in the free part, and I just want to add more to the transhumanized definition, okay, so that you can
Okay.
understand. So it means to elevate beyond humanity or make godlike, typically through technological advancements. So
Okay.
using technology to make the human condition evolve beyond its conditions.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Does the perception of space and time change in the presence of active neural implants, that is, electronic devices implanted in the brain or nervous system?
Mm. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing a person with some implants in his brain. I see some experiments going on there. So basically, they are experimenting. They are trying to connect themselves to this quantic side of physics. So they are trying to connect to this concept of space and time and analyze it even more and connect directly to it. Um, so at some point they are succeeding, but I see this entire uh, research being controlled further. So it's not like the humans are doing this research, they are trying to reach that point, they are trying to make it successful.
Mhm.
But I see some interferences at some point stopping the process, uh, stopping humans to reach their final purpose, their final accomplishment.
Mhm. Okay. Very good. Do you perceive anything else about space, the perception of space and time in the presence of neural implants?
So basically, this concept of space and time, it's they are just concept uh, in our dimension, in
Yeah.
our levels of dimension, because these concepts actually don't exist further. They
Mm.
don't exist in another dimensions or in dimensions with higher vibration. So basically, humans are trying to do research on that. They are trying to break this kind of fences, let's say. We are surrounded by this kind of fences regarding the space and time, and they are trying to break through that. They are trying to go beyond that, but they can't. They actually can't because there are those interferences who are not allowing them to go further, to explore
Mhm.
further, get to know further about what's beyond this matrix where we are in. So everything is actually controlled. The entire experiment is controlled so it can escalate to a point. It's a point settled by those interferences who know what we are doing and what we are looking for.
Mhm. Okay. How do you perceive the sense of self in individuals with integrated artificial parts?
Okay, so they get, psychologically speaking, they get a sense of power. They feel like they are more powerful, that they can gain much more than they were able to when they were just simply human and they didn't have any of such implants or help
Mhm.
from the artificial part. So basically, they are trying to gain, to reach, to get some abilities beyond what the human body can offer at this moment, actually. So while they are implanting those mechanisms to get those abilities, they are also uh, paying a price. They are giving something in return because
Mhm.
those implants, um, they are some sort of contracts, actually. Like the way we are implanted by interferences energetically, it's something similar. So
Mhm.
they are giving something to get something, but they are getting the results uh, until like they are getting it at some point. Like they are not getting the results fully as they want, as I mentioned before.
Mhm. Okay. How does biomechanical integration alter the sensory experience of the physical body? What do you perceive?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, it does. It does. Um, I see some modifications. I see so basically I see like some channels, like energetically speaking, I see some channels which are connected to each other uh, in our human body. It's making our human body function to its own biological capacity, and then I see those mechanism being implemented
Mm-hmm.
to do a cert to um, uh, achieve a certain role in our bodies. So I see those channels like obstructed. So I see them
Mm-hmm.
obstructed, and I see those implants like doing their own purpose, but obstructing those channels which have to function normally in our bodies. So I see some things happening beyond. So we are using those kind of implants for purposes which we say that they would help us, they would upgrade our capabilities, but actually, energetically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I see like um, how these implants are how should I explain? Mm,
Whatever comes to you.
obstructing in our bodies. They are causing
Mm-hmm.
obstructions in our bodies. They are um, they really look alike like those kind of implants, those interferences put in us energetically and control us and restrict us from having for from m- manifesting mm,
Creating.
creating, manifesting our abilities or functioning at full capability. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
happens in this case. It's a similar situation.
Very good. Very interesting. What happens or could happen to the subliminal part of a transhumanized body?
Okay, so basically, I see it. I see similar things like it's getting penetrated, or I see obstructions, I see sections, I see those implants like causing um those kind of penetrations in the body, those kind of obstructions, like some open wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the subliminal part not functioning at full capability anymore. Um, and I see it like being so where I see those implants, I see it being like um carved, let's say, like it's stuck where the implants are put. I see it being controlled, stuck. Like I don't see that freedom anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The subliminal part has itself. So I see it being controlled in a way.
Mm-hmm. Observe whether brain-computer interfaces can influence free will.
Okay, so basically I see an image with ChatGPT right now with
Yeah.
this artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So I see how it's influencing our free decisions. Like we go for ChatGPT to get answers, to get solutions. Basically, we are not using our brains anymore because we have this capacity and we are simply not using it anymore to just manifesting, taking our own decisions, creating by ourselves in life. So I see us using this artificial intelligence to take decisions for us, to manifest for us, to create for us, and this is not normal because we are energy, we are subliminal parts, we are supposed to do, we have the capacity to do this, not something artificial.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you perceive anything else about free will?
Um, so basically I see being restricted in a
Mm-hmm.
way because we let ourselves get influenced and also excited about this kind of new technology. We believe that we can reach more far, that we can achieve way more things that we were only dreaming of before. So basically, following this technology, letting it do certain things for us, we are basically giving away our free will in exchange of having this technology and doing things for us.
Mhm.
So basically, this techno we are indirectly giving our power to this technology because
Mhm.
it's something that is controlling us. Basically, it's doing things in our place, while we could do many things while we have this ability.
Mhm. Okay. Observe how society would change if integrated with government systems of neurological and biodigital surveillance.
Okay, so basically, I see. Um, I went to an image in America.
Mhm.
They implemented this system. This is what is showing up in
Yeah.
my mind. Something in the future.
Yes.
So they implemented this system. All citizens, they are fully controlled. It's known their identity, their biometrical data, everything about their life. So everything about them as human beings, everything is stored in a uh, it's in a data storage
Database. Yeah.
database. Yeah. So basically, when you give your consent to this kind of technology as a citizen, you don't realize that the entire government has full control over you. So they know everything, they have everything about you. Basically, you're giving consent to. So the government has full access to your entire existence and identity. So
Mhm.
it's mostly about control because they own the technology, they own the knowledge, and they can present it to you in any way useful for them. So if you catch the um, like if you let yourself get tricked, um, basically you are giving yourself away. They have full
Mhm.
control over you, and you don't realize that because you're too excited for being a part of this kind of technology. Or at some point you will also be forced, even if you don't want it, even if you don't want to be a part of it, you will be forced to be a part of it with everyone else.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. And now the last question of the fixed part, Christina. Connect to the term synthetic consciousness and observe whether attempts are being made to create a non-biological replica of it.
Can you
Mm,
repeat and give a few
yeah,
explanations?
yes. So connect to the term synthetic consciousness,
Okay.
artificial consciousness.
Okay.
Observe whether attempts are being made to create a non-biological replica of synthetic consciousness.
Okay, so I see some androids, robots. They are
Mhm.
used for, well, this is the first stage of the evolution I see. They are used in fabrics, they are used in medical fields, in
Yeah.
intellectual fields like professors, teachers. I see those being used. So
Mhm.
I see they have their own consciousness, their own synthetic consciousness. They are teaching people, they are helping people. I see them at some point replacing people, replacing the human being.
Mhm.
Um, but they don't have, they are not fully functioning the way we humans function. Like their consciousness is limited at some point. So even if they own a lot of data and information that maybe we can't storage in our own brains, or we can't use, um, they can function like us. They can't think, they can't do their job like us.
So what's the difference between them and us, between androids and humans?
So basically, they are better at storing information and accessing it. They have this access to the internet. They can access any information, any details, anything, but they can't put it in practice. They can't use it the way we can because they don't have a real consciousness. They don't have the logics we have.
How come? Why? What is it missing for them?
The subliminal part. They don't have emotions. They don't think deeply like us. So they are just like some machines who have access to information, to worldwide information, but they can't function like us.
Mhm. And circling back to hold on. Let's stay with the androids. Observe in the future. Do you perceive a future where they can be like us? Well, where they can be an exact replica of us?
I can say for sure exact replica, but it's similar.
Okay.
So I see a similar replica of us with let's say upgraded capabilities,
Mhm.
but they can't think like a human. They don't have emotions, they don't think, they don't feel. They just have upgraded characteristics,
Mhm.
but they they don't have this emotional part. They just function like simply uh, mechanisms controlled by humans.
Also controlled by humans. They can they control themselves and act by themselves?
So I see that at some point during the evolution and the evolution of technology regarding these robots, at some point they can find a way to actually disconnect to um, the collective control of all the robots the humans have. So they can
Mhm.
disconnect from it and they can just act on their own. But that would be like a malfunction moment, an error the humans would make, and that would cost a lot.
And what would they do on their own on Earth? How would they behave? How do you perceive them? It's just a temporal line.
So basically, mm,
What
I
are they
see
doing?
them having their own behavior, but they would not feel this empathy part. They would not feel emotions. They would feel they would have their own will, let's say. So they would actually become rebel against everything they had to do, they were forced to do, and how they were controlled, and they would just go against everything they had to. They their own purpose, let's say. They would go against their own purpose.
Mhm. Can will exist without a subliminal part?
Uh, yes and no. So basically, those robots' will is based on they would form their own will, their own judgment based on all the informations which were integrated in their own system. Like
Uh-huh.
they would have access to all the information on the internet. So basically, they would form their own uh, let's say some type of consciousness, some type of will based on all the information they would get from the internet, how humans behave, how humans think, what they do, and the list goes on. So basically, they would form their own synthetic consciousness based on that, on the data they have access to.
Mhm.
But no, would not. They would not have their own consciousness the way we do with our subliminal parts.
Okay. And now going back to ChatGPT, disconnect from the synthetic consciousness, or no, actually, because you said that ChatGPT is influencing our free decisions.
Yes, it does.
Can it also help us and in saving time, in finding solutions
Yes,
faster,
and
if well used?
that's the sketchy part.
Why?
Basically, it helps us, it saves time, it solves our problems, issues, or we look for answers. It solves a lot, it saves a lot of time, but at the same time, um, indirectly, it takes uh, a bit control of us, of our thinking, because we can basically solve things and find answers and take actions using our own brain, using our own mind, thinking, using it to find solutions, and the list goes on. But we just give it all away to an artificial intelligence to do things for us. So basically, in a sense, it it takes some sort of control. It takes the lead, let's say. So we become so comfortable at some point we just give everything to this artificial intelligence to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I see an image with a
Yeah.
student,
Mm-hmm.
a medical student. Okay, so basically this medical student has to study, has to do some homework on its own, has to learn certain important things for his career on his
Mm-hmm.
own, but he's giving everything to this ChatGPT to do for him. So I see in the future that at some point this medical student becomes a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and he is hit by certain situations where he gave um, what he had to do himself to learn himself to ChatGPT to solve.
But
So he's stuck in this situation. He doesn't know exactly what to do.
okay,
He just
okay.
remembers he.
But ChatGPT cannot pass exams, pass medical exams for this medical student.
No, it's not about exams. It's about certain things he had to learn,
Okay.
either practical through exercises or homework or just study. He had some kind of homework to do.
Yeah.
So which later on it proved that it was useful in his career, because at some point he was hit by a situation where he needed that kind of exercise or information. So basically he lacks that part because he gave it to ChatGPT to solve and think for him to solve that
Mm-hmm.
exercise or homework.
Okay. Now, with this example of this medical student, let's go to the moment just before he gives everything to ChatGPT, just before he enters everything in ChatGPT. How do you perceive this medical student? Is this a girl or a boy?
A boy.
What name? What's his name?
Xavier,
Xavier. Okay.
fourth year in
Yeah,
college.
okay. Just Xavier. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
How do you perceive Xavier?
So basically, in some sort of um, stressful situation, struggling situation. He's out of time. He doesn't know how to solve that kind of exercise he has to solve, that homework.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have time. He doesn't have enough time to search for more information, to look for more
Okay.
ways to solve that
Okay.
homework.
Okay.
So
Energetically, observe the scene where Xavier gives everything to ChatGPT. Energetically.
So I see some sort of a contract in this case. Basically, he's making a contract. He's giving this task for
Mhm.
ChatGPT to do something, and in return he gets the result. But he's giving something. So basically,
What? What is he giving?
I see it similar to those contracts humans make with interferences, because basically ChatGPT and this entire artificial intelligence, I see it controlled by some interferences. Exactly as I mentioned before regarding humans, mm, how they would have a result, but at some point they don't get the full result because they are controlled by interferences. So it's something like this, because I see this entire artificial intelligence being an experiment controlled by those beings.
We'll talk about the beings later. Now, Xavier, he's making the contract with ChatGPT for ChatGPT to resolve his problems. Now, Christina, present ourselves to Xavier, and telepathically ask Xavier in the moment before he sends all the information to ChatGPT, ask him if he agrees for us to give him some information and tell me what he says.
Okay, so basically he said yes, anything that would help me right now.
Okay, so now telepathically transfer all we have seen about ChatGPT, about this contract, about his future to
Okay.
him, and tell me how do you perceive him, how he reacts.
So basically he's panicked. He says he better get an uh F right now, an low
Okay, can,
grade, a low grade. He better get
Christina,
a low grade right now than
can I talk to him through you?
okay.
Okay, let me talk to Xavier. Hello, Xavier.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm stressed out. I'm panicked.
We saw that with my colleague Christina. And the reason why we transferred you everything that we have seen is because we're doing some research on will, on power.
So I'm so panicked because I will fail this grade if I don't give this homework right now.
Now, do you accept to do a test with us? I want to do a test with you.
Okay.
So now, knowing everything that we perceived, okay,
Okay.
you will change the conditions, the perception, the perspective that you are giving the information to ChatGPT for. Okay.
Okay.
So consciously, in consciousness, with all the information you have, do you still want to give ChatGPT the information? You can.
No.
You can.
No, I don't want to reach that point in my career where I don't know what to do as a doctor and everyone looks at me.
Okay, okay. Now, Xavier, let's open a temporal line. Okay.
Okay.
Open a new temporal line where we can do experiences. It's an
Okay.
experimental temporal line. It won't change anything. On this temporal line, you know that if you give the information unconsciously, there is a contract and so on, what we've seen. And now, consciously, you can still use ChatGPT to help you. How do you proceed?
I don't want to give my consent away or free will away to
Then don't.
whatever. I don't want to do this contract.
Don't.
I didn't sign up for this when I used
Mhm.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, of
I
course
didn't think
not.
that far.
Of course not. Of course not. But now you know this. So can you still use ChatGPT and not give your consent away?
No, I would rather not use it anymore. I will
Okay.
find another ways.
Okay. Go back to your temporal line.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Xavier.
Thank you.
Christina, disconnect. Disconnect from Xavier. Okay. How do you perceive him now?
So basically, I see him looking for the data he needs in books. He's
Mm-hmm.
looking in another sources. He's not using
Okay.
ChatGPT anymore. He tells himself that if he fails this class, it is what it is. He'll find a way. He'll find another solution.
Okay.
So I don't see him using ChatGPT anymore. So
Okay.
basically, this contract is not forming anymore.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now disconnect from Xavier, Christina, and find a person on Earth that didn't sign a contract and still uses artificial intelligence to its benefit.
Okay, so basically, I connected to someone who's using some sort of casket, like it's that Neuralink
Okay.
device.
Yeah.
But basically, when someone is using this kind of artificial intelligence, when they are using a device or something, they are giving a consent. They are signing a contract indirectly because I'm seeing as I said before, I'm seeing this interference. I see some grays and uh I see some grays manipulating this entire um how do I say it the
Situation.
situation regarding the artificial intelligence neuronal
The grays.
upgrades. Yes, I see them manipulating. this entire concept, like they are manipulating at some point, but they are also led by some reptilians. I see further.
Mm-hmm. So, who are the entities behind that are trying to stop the human's advancement process?
Basically, reptilians, but they are using grace to do the practical work,
Mm-hmm.
to manipulate and pull the lower strings, let's say, the direct strings with us, let's say.
And how are they operating to stop human progress? What are they doing to stop human progress?
So basically, they are giving limitations, while humans are looking for solutions to advance further with this artificial intelligence. They are giving limitations. They are giving obstacles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at some point, they are just doing something to prevent further evolutions or just redirect the evolutions in another places so they wouldn't reach the, let's say, best path, best
Mm-hmm.
way, best results.
And why shouldn't the humans reach the best result?
Because that would mean their level of evolutions and consciousness would raise. So basically,
Okay.
it would be harder for those interferences to manipulate. So they have to keep them in place. They have to give them like let's say a few sparks, like make them believe that they are advanced, they are discovering something great or whatever. But actually, it's just all about manipulation, mental manipulation, and control.
Mm-hmm. If anytime someone uses ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, they sign a contract, how, I mean, this contract is beneficial, right? For who is it beneficial, this contract?
So basically, it's beneficial for us in the moment. In the moment we use this how to
Help, external help.
external help, yes, but truly beneficial and for a long time is for those interferences. Basically, we sign this kind of contract. This
Yeah.
kind of contract is made by those interferences. So
Hmm.
basically, we.
So why would they stop us evolve into this direction if it's beneficial for them?
So basically, this is another way to get contracts with us to get us stuck. So this is another way. Um, so this entire intelligence, artificial intelligence situation
Hmm.
is made with a purpose. Like it's giving us the idea that we are evolving, we are going far, but they are giving us piece by piece, as much as they want
Hmm.
technology. They are the ones manipulating this entire let's well say the evolution. They
Yeah.
are giving us piece by piece.
Hmm.
So basically, I also see that at some point, way before in time, we had this kind of technology. We had even more than that. At some point,
Yes.
they stopped it.
Hmm.
They gave us a reset,
Hmm.
and we started again.
So today, with what we saw, how can the evolution in this field that is controlled, as you perceived, how can it help us raise the frequencies? How can it raise someone frequencies?
Uh, okay, can you explain a bit more regarding?
Because you perceived that the research is controlled, right?
Yes,
To
yes,
make it less successful for humans. And you said that if it wasn't controlled, we could raise the frequency, right?
yes, yes, yes. We could go really far if it wasn't controlled.
Oh, okay. So if there were no reptilians, we could go very far. Okay. What would a person be able to do without this intelligence, artificial intelligence, and implants being controlled?
Okay, so basically, first of all, if this entire experiment or if this entire technology wasn't given by them because they were the ones who gave us the sketches, let's say, they were the ones who gave us the
Mhm.
hint to project and create and develop and advance further with these kinds of technology. So basically, we would have another ways to develop our own technology. So the sketches of this technology, they were given by those beings. So basically, we developed from there
Mm-hmm.
with interference from those beings.
And what would a person be capable to do with a full functional implant?
So basically, people wouldn't use implants. They would use another kind of technology. They wouldn't implant
Okay.
themselves with anything.
Okay.
So they would develop another kind of technology which would be connected to the energical side of of our being, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So they would connect energetically, and they would develop a technology which would be different and, let's say, actually helpful for us, actually healthy. It would be something healthy
Mm-hmm.
because we would use this kind of how should I explain? Uh, uh, Universal energy. I don't even know how to explain it. Like we would use the energy from the universe. We would use mm, I'm trying to explain what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Instead of explaining, find a three on my three, find a planet with inhabitants that are already using this technology. Okay.
Okay.
One, two, three. You're there. What do you perceive?
So basically, I went back to our planet. It's our
Oh.
planet, but back when it had this technology.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about those kind of ancient times. Like I see Atlantida, I see
Yeah.
some
Atlantis, I
Atlantis. I see
think.
some civilizations which were ruined, which were drowned, which don't exist anymore.
Okay.
See them having this kind of technology. They were extremely far advanced. They were using etheric energy.
Mm-hmm.
They
What are they doing with it?
I see they build their own systems like energetical systems, transportation systems, and healthcare systems. So they were extremely advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, I see everything getting ruined because they were far more advanced, too advanced, and these interferences, they would have lost control over them if they didn't take actions and did a drastical decision.
Mm-hmm. What else do you perceive about Atlantis and this technology?
So basically, I see them living in an complete union with the nature, with the everything the planet had to give, but also with a complete union with the etheric part.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were fully connected to the etheric part.
Where are these implants located in their bodies?
So they don't have implants. They
But
don't have implants.
what do they have?
I see some kind of work with their pineal gland, with their chakras, with I see them working with their own subliminal parts and reaching that stage at some point, and at some point connecting with the collective consciousness of everything. Like they weren't just connected in the human plane, in the human
Mm-hmm.
dimension.
So what kind of technology do they use?
So basically, I can't exactly explain. It's a unfamiliar technology, let's say, but I see a certain architecture like different from
Mm-hmm.
what I'm familiar with. So I see it being um I see it functioning on some kind of etheric energy. I see some kind of it's a different energy than we are familiar with, which is unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be achieved unlimited.
Okay, very good. Disconnect from there, Christina. Very good. And now you perceived when we were talking about the sense of self in individuals with integrated artificial parts, you perceive that psychologically it gives them a sense of power because they're giving something, but they're giving something in return for the implants and they make
Yes.
contracts. What do you
Yes.
perceive they're giving in return for the implants?
So I see they are basically giving away parts of their subliminal part. They are giving away their energy. Their basically they are allowing themselves to be controlled. So they are allowing themselves to um,
Mhm.
have taken either their energy or subliminal parts or uh, even to be used further for future reincarnations because they basically would be stuck with this kind of contract.
Okay. Okay. Um, these people that you perceive, why did they get the implants?
Why they get the
Yeah,
implants?
what's the purpose? What's the reason they got these implants?
So basically, the purpose is similar to other scenarios we are putting, like religious, political, all other interests. It's similar, like they are practically getting those human beings stuck. They are using their subliminal parts. The purpose is to use their energy, to use them for experiments, to use them for future purposes and reincarnations. Basically, it's similar purposes like how they use us
Mhm.
in another fields. You know,
What about the people with integrated artificial parts in their physical body?
basically, they have, let's say, a heavier contract. They are stuck even more because
Mhm.
they accepted further agreements in the contract, let's say. So it's much more than those who just use artificial intelligence like ChatGPT or whatever.
And what is the
So
reason
I see.
someone can have an integrated artificial part in their physical body?
So basically, with these physical implants, I also see etheric implants.
Of course.
So those once the body dies or
Mhm.
whatever, those etheric implants will still be there in the subliminal part of that being.
Mhm. Can medical conditions just justify neurological implants?
Can you give
Yes, for example,
explain
Elon
further?
Musk created the Neuralink, which is
Okay.
a chip to put in the brain in order to not lose the functions of the brain.
Okay, so basically, I see this entire medical field extremely manipulated. So basically, they are, generally speaking, they are making us sick, and also they are giving us the, let's say, antidote. They are
Mhm.
manipulating the entire system. Uh, so regarding this neurological part, they are also making us sick on this part as well through food, through water, through whatever
Mhm.
processed things, medication, and the list goes on. So basically, they are controlling us and giving us the solution, the, let's say, the solution, but they are just using us. We are like some sort of subjects for their purposes. So they are using us on this part as well. They are giving us this kind of solution. Like if you take this, I made this revolutionary solution. If you take this, you will be well. Basically, if we accept that, it's not the actual uh, solution to our problem.
Mhm.
So basically, we
And
are also giving an agreement, a
of
contract.
course, but in relation with the Neuralink, we're only talking about the artificial implant, let's say. Do you perceive that a person who is having trouble with their neural system, with their brain, mm, can use this link? Can this link, Neuralink, help this person?
Yes, I see it helping the person, but again, it's the same thing regarding the contract and
Okay. Okay.
because
Yeah,
so the
tell
con
me.
okay, so there's a time of I see it of desperation, like that person wants to be healthy, that person wants to be well, so basically they are accepting, they are believing that this is the best solution and they are accepting it. They are feeling better, they are feeling well, they are doing well. But yeah, it's same thing regarding the contract and what happens later on
Mhm.
ethically.
Do you perceive that these artificial implants or biomechanical things can be put in our body involuntarily, as in I'm having a surgery, I'm under anesthesia, and I'm waking up with this kind of implant that the
Yes,
governments use, as we saw before, for
yes,
example.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it can
Without our
happen.
consent.
Yes, it can happen. And the moment I said that, China came in my mind. So
Okay.
that country came in my mind.
hmm
I see them either doing it right now or in the future they would be doing this to their own citizens.
hmm And does a person still sign a contract if it's made without their consent? How do you
So
perceive this situation?
So basically, I see them. So this is not random. This is not just happening out of nowhere. Basically, I see them already having some sort of contracts from way
Okay.
before. So basically, they were put in this kind of scenario for it to
Okay.
happen.
hmm
So they would. So with that contract, they would go further. Like they have this agreement, so they go further with the agreement. So they are just simply put in a scenario.
hmm Okay, I understand. Okay. And now, lastly, I want to ask you to disconnect from this situation and to go in America in the future where you perceived that all citizens are controlled and everything is stored in a database, and that a perception you had, you perceived that in the future you will be forced, right, to give consent to this kind of surveillance. So
Yes.
my question is, can a physical body give accept the terms and conditions, and the metaphysical body, the subliminal part, not agreeing to them? What do you perceive about this?
So basically, I see similar situation like how it was with COVID, with the COVID vaccine in our country. Like
Yes,
we
in
were
in
forced
every
to
country.
yeah, I my mind went to
Oh,
our
okay, you
country.
perceive our country. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So basically, it's a similar situation like how we were forced to accept the vaccine or the wax, or else we wouldn't be able to go out to do this or that. So basically, at some point, psychologically, we were brainwashed. So
Mm-hmm.
we had to accept eventually and just give our consent, even if at first we didn't want it, but we did it eventually. So I see a similar situation happening here, where initially you don't want to accept, you don't want to give your consent, but eventually you are forced. And even if you are forced or not, you basically, in the back of your mind, you give your consent and sign that agreement or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So there are always exceptions, of course, because even during the COVID period, there are people who gave, let's say, their physical consent,
Yes.
but energetically didn't
Energetic.
agree and eliminated the vaccine, for example, if we're talking about this period. But mm, can you give, can you agree to some terms of conditions physically and not energetically?
Yes, yes, you can. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Especially even if even especially when you are forced, you can do it. Like physically you accept this, but energetically you cancel it.
Yes. Okay. Um, you say being forced. What do you, for me, tell me what do you perceive about what I'm saying right now. For me, being forced doesn't exist. It's only a question of choice.
Okay, so basically, so I see that you, like the government is telling you to do this. You have to do this, or else you don't get that.
Okay, then
So
I don't get that.
so basically, if you don't accept to do this, you
Mm-hmm.
will get the other thing, which is not a pleasant thing for you. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, if you don't accept like how it happened in our country to get the vaccine, the wax,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't be able to go out. You wouldn't be able to go shopping. You wouldn't be able to do this and that. So, and you needed to do those things. So at some point, basically, you had a freedom of choice. You either choose to stay home and not get
Yes.
the vaccine, or go out and get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
this is the choice you get eventually.
Yes. Okay. 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 Thank you very much, Christina. Do you
Thank
perceive
you.
anything else about transhumanism that you want to mention?
So mostly I perceive that this is one of those interferences of those beings' plan. One of their many plans they are putting in action. One of their many plans they are manipulating us with and controlling us, keeping us in a flock of sheep, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and also how they collect energy from us, because they are finding plenty of ways, they are implementing plenty of ways uh, to do that, to make us give
Yes.
our consents in different situations they create or scenarios. So this way they would collect more and more energy and they would get us stuck in contracts, so they would use uh, our subliminal parts later on in more and more reincarnations. They would like force us in more incarnations. So yeah, this basically I perceive it being as one of those projects they are implementing and using to reach their purposes with us and
Yeah.
get what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. Now I will count from 1 to 3, and on 3, you will be fully in the present moment. 1, disconnect completely from everything, everywhere, everyone, and return fully into your body. Your space is clean, you feel good, you feel refreshed, and you raise your frequencies to your highest levels. 2, your body feels lighter and stronger, and you feel better and better. You can move it with pleasure and ease. And 3, you can open your eyes fully in the present. How do you feel, Christina? Thank you.
Thank you as well. I'm okay, but to be honest, I didn't have much information like physically. I
It's
didn't read
okay.
much about this entire subject, so
Perfect. That's
I was
perfect because
perceiving.
that allows you to tell what you perceive
Yeah, the
about it.
thing is that I was perceiving a lot of things, but I didn't know how to put them in words or
I know.
explain them.
I know. I know. It's a very interesting subject. I loved it, and I
Yes.
hope we have. I'm pretty sure we'll have a second protocol of it. We're only on the first one, so yeah. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you as well.
Thank you everyone for watching, for listening to us. We will see you soon, and we have a live where we will analyze this session and the other sessions that our colleagues will do on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Romanian time. So we'll be seeing you there, and you can ask whatever question you want. Feel free to ask us. See you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Buenos días.
Dzień dobry.
Bienvenidos a este primer vídeo de Disclosure en español y polaco.
Bardzo Was serdecznie witamy na tym nowym wideo, które będzie w języku hiszpańskim i polskim na kanale Disclosures.
Vamos a producir mucho más vídeos en futuro como estos vídeos informativos.
W przyszłości stworzymy dużo więcej takich wideo, które będą Was informowały o różnych rzeczach.
Porque estamos notando que cuanto más se va divulgando este trabajo, estas hipnosis por internet, también cuanto más mala información se está difundiendo.
A to dlatego, że zauważyliśmy, że im więcej wstawiamy sesji z naszymi hipnozami, tym więcej jakby informacji sprzecznych zaczyna się rozprzestrzeniać.
Y entonces hoy vamos a hablar de las sesiones investigativas.
Więc dzisiaj będziemy mówić o sesjach badawczych.
Porque estoy viendo que hay personas que a lo mejor se dedican a una sesión con una persona, se van a algún lugar, preguntan algo y lo poco de información que pueden extraer de una sesión se lo creen como si fuera oro, completamente puro oro.
Bo zauważyłem, że są takie sesje i takie osoby, które robią jedną sesję z jedną osobą na dany temat i kiedy wychodzi tam jakaś informacja, to jest ona odbierana, jakby to było rzeczywiście coś niesamowicie wiarygodnego, jakby to było czyste złoto.
Yo os digo que la sesión así dicha investigativa no existe.
Ja chciałbym Wam powiedzieć, że sesja badawcza tak naprawdę nie istnieje.
Entonces podríais como preguntar, entonces cuando haces una sesión a un cliente y preguntas cosas, ¿por qué preguntas?
Więc mógłbyś mi zadać pytanie, więc skoro robisz jakąś sesję z jakąś osobą i zadajesz jej pytania, to właściwie po co je w ogóle zadajesz?
Sí, sabemos que la información en hipnosis está muy, pero de verdad muy contaminada.
My bardzo dobrze wiemy, że informacja, która wychodzi podczas hipnozy jest niezwykle, ale to niezwykle zanieczyszczona.
Y esta información, así como sale de la hipnosis, no podemos tomarla como conocimiento, como investigación.
Więc takiej informacji, która wychodzi podczas sesji hipnozy, nie bierzemy nigdy jako takiej informacji, która jest rzeczywiście bardzo prawdziwa, zgodna z prawdą i oczywista.
En el caso de sesiones a clientes, la información que sacamos nos sirve por otro objetivo. El objetivo es llegar a la causa de su problema y trabajar.
Te informacje, które uzyskujemy podczas sesji dla klientów, służą nam zupełnie do czegoś innego. Celem jest to, żeby znaleźć przyczynę i pracować nad nią.
Pero ¿qué significa que la información está contaminada? ¿Cuánto está contaminada y por qué?
Ale co to właściwie oznacza informacja zanieczyszczona? Kiedy jest zanieczyszczona i dlaczego jest zanieczyszczona?
Hay que saber que cuando nosotros pedimos una información y nos llega a través de una persona en hipnosis, esta información sale de una fuente, para así decirlo, y atraviesa muchas dimensiones, muchas densidades.
Kiedy prosimy o jakąś informację podczas sesji, to ta informacja, powiedzmy to w ten sposób, pochodzi z jakiegoś źródła, ale w międzyczasie przechodzi przez wiele gęstości i wiele wymiarów.
Y también pasa por conciencias, por inteligencias. Esa información viene atrapada en el éter por varios seres.
Ale ta informacja przechodzi też przez wiele umysłów, wiele świadomości, istnieje w eterze i może być przechwycona również przez wiele bytów.
Estos seres, estas inteligencias, pueden voluntariamente o involuntariamente distorsionarla.
I te byty, te istoty lub świadomości mogą ją zniekształcić świadomie lub nieświadomie.
Y además, la persona que está en hipnosis tiene sus creencias, su mentalidad, sus perspectivas, sus opiniones. Esta estructura mental contamina también esta información.
A co więcej, osoba, która jest w stanie hipnozy, ma swoje własne przekonania, swoje własne wartości, wierzenia, swoją własną mentalność i przez tą właśnie strukturę całą mentalną również może dojść do jeszcze kolejnego zanieczyszczenia.
Y además, si nosotros queremos investigar, por ejemplo, una persona o un ser que no tiene ninguna conexión con el ambiente hipnótico donde estamos trabajando, esta persona puede no autorizar la salida de informaciones de sí mismo.
A co więcej, jeśli połączymy się z jakąś istotą, która absolutnie nie należy do tego środowiska hipnotycznego, w którym pracujemy, taka istota może nie zgodzić się na przekazanie informacji.
Si hay interacción, si hay interferencias entre un ser y otro, es posible que circule información por las conexiones, por los pactos.
Jeśli jest jakaś interferencja między dwoma istotami, to wtedy dzięki tym paktom, albo przez te pakty, przez to połączenie, które istnieje, rzeczywiście wychodzą informacje.
Pero si en aquella sesión en concreto ese ser o esa persona se va a cuestionar y no hay ninguna conexión, es muy improbable que llegue una información autorizada.
Ale jeśli zdarzy się tak, że łączymy się z istotą, która nie ma z tym nic wspólnego, to jest bardzo mało prawdopodobne, że dostaniemy jakąś informację.
Entonces, imaginemos que queremos investigar sobre un personaje famoso de la historia.
No, na przykład wyobraźmy sobie, że chcielibyśmy otrzymać informację o jakiejś osobie niezwykle znanej, historycznej.
Si no tenemos de alguna manera alguna conexión con los elementos del ambiente hipnótico y esta persona, aunque no esté conectada, no autoriza esta información, pues no llega.
Więc jeśli wyobrazimy sobie, że ta osoba nie jest w żaden sposób połączona z tym środowiskiem hipnotycznym, w którym pracujemy, może się tak zdarzyć, że absolutnie nie zezwoli na żadne przekazywanie informacji na swój temat.
Y cuando pasa esto, hay siempre o casi siempre alguna entidad que se aprovecha de la situación.
I kiedy to się dzieje, zazwyczaj pojawia się jakiś byt, który wykorzystuje tę sytuację.
Se puede presentar con la supuesta identidad de la persona o del ser que estamos buscando, o puede de todas formas modificar o inventar una información por su cuenta, por su personal ventaja.
Może zrobić dwie rzeczy. Albo przyjąć, zidentyfikować się z osobą, o której chcemy zrobić tę sesję, przyjąć jej tożsamość, albo zmienić informacje, które chcielibyśmy otrzymać, tak aby to działało na jej korzyść.
Nosotros en sesión a clientes podemos trabajar porque el cliente nos autoriza a trabajar en él en su sesión.
Podczas sesji dla klientów możemy pracować nad takimi informacjami, bo otrzymujemy zgodę na informacje właśnie dzięki temu klientowi.
Y podemos trabajar con sus seres queridos, por ejemplo, o con los seres que interfieren con ella, propio porque hay estas conexiones.
I możemy pracować na przykład z istotami, które kocha ta dana osoba, lub z bytami, które w nią ingerują, właśnie przez to połączenie, które tam istnieje.
Entonces, hay una gran diferencia entre la sesión a un cliente para solucionar sus problemas y hacer sesiones para investigar.
Dlatego istnieje taka duża różnica między sesjami, które robimy dla klientów, aby rozwiązać ich problemy, i między sesjami takimi poszukiwawczymi, badawczymi.
Por eso digo que no existe una sesión investigativa.
I dlatego właśnie Wam mówię, że nie istnieje coś takiego jak sesja badawcza.
Lo que existe es un protocolo de sesiones de investigación.
To, co istnieje, to pewien protokół sesji badawczych.
Hay que seguir un protocolo y hay que seguir, ejecutar una serie de sesiones y con personas diferentes.
Więc trzeba zawsze śledzić ten sam protokół, a jednocześnie wykonać wiele sesji z różnymi osobami.
El protocolo tiene que ser único, unívoco, porque hay que preguntar en un tema las mismas preguntas para ir en la misma dirección.
Ten protokół powinien być zawsze taki sam, ponieważ należy zadawać takie same pytania, tak aby iść zawsze w tym samym kierunku.
Cuanto más está restringido este espacio de investigación, cuanto más podemos tener más probabilidad de tener buena información.
Im bardziej zawężamy obszar naszych poszukiwań, tym bardziej prawdopodobne będzie, że otrzymamy dobre informacje.
Sí, podemos también aumentar este espacio, pero tenemos que aumentar proporcionalmente el número de sesiones por hacer.
Możemy oczywiście rozszerzyć ten obszar, ale wtedy będziemy zmuszeni również rozszerzyć ilość tych sesji.
Luego, cuando tenemos una grande serie de sesiones, pero estamos hablando de centenas o hasta de millares de sesiones.
I wtedy mówimy o olbrzymiej liczbie sesji, od setki po tysiące.
Tenemos que recoger toda aquella información que es común a todas o a casi todas estas sesiones hechas.
I wtedy musimy pozbierać te informacje, które są wspólne dla wszystkich bądź prawie wszystkich tych sesji.
Esta información común vais a ver que es un porcentaje muy pequeño con respecto a la totalidad de la información.
I zobaczycie, że ta informacja wspólna będzie naprawdę niewielkim odsetkiem tych informacji, które się tam pojawią.
Son pepitas de oro.
To są takie malutkie ziarenka.
Es como si nosotros vamos a un río, vamos a coger este filtro, vamos a coger muchísima arena para recoger solo muy pocas pepitillas de oro.
I można to przyrównać do poszukiwania złota, kiedy filtruje się dno rzeki, zbiera się mnóstwo piasku, a na koniec pojawiają się maleńkie ziarenka złota.
Esa sí que es información de oro.
I to jest właśnie ta informacja złota.
Si hoy podemos decir que hay seres que interfieren bastante con el ser humano y que tienen formas de animales reptiles o de animales a forma de insectos, etc., es porque todo esto sale desde que se empezaron las sesiones de hipnosis y hay muchísimas, millares y millares con esta información común.
I jeśli dzisiaj możemy powiedzieć, że są ingerencje, które przybierają formy albo reptilii, albo jakichś insektów, to dlatego, że takie informacje wychodzą od początku naszych sesji hipnotycznych i są wspólne i jest ich tysiące.
Pero si yo digo que en la ciudad de Nueva York, en el 1452, en aquel punto, había una casa que vivía un viejo que se llamaba Tom, pues solo en aquella sesión ha salido, y cuanto más contaminada puede ser, no lo va a saber nadie.
Ale jeśli chciałabym powiedzieć, przekazać taką informację, że w Nowym Jorku w 1452 roku stał taki a taki dom, w którym mieszkał taki a taki starszy pan o imieniu Tom, to nie mam pojęcia, jak bardzo zanieczyszczona będzie ta informacja.
Así entonces se hace investigación. Es un trabajo muy largo, muy duro, y tiene que ser hecho con un protocolo riguroso y severo.
A więc właśnie w taki sposób należy robić sesje badawcze. Jest to proces bardzo długi, ciężki i który wymaga bardzo restrykcyjnego protokołu.
Entonces, por esto que nosotros ya vamos a empezar a hacer ciclos de investigación.
I właśnie dlatego zaczniemy teraz robić takie cykle badawcze.
La estructura del team, que cada vez va creciendo siempre más, y el número de clientes que cada día contactan con nosotros, nos permiten organizar estos ciclos de investigación.
I ponieważ struktura naszego zespołu cały czas się powiększa, a także liczba klientów, którzy kontaktują się z nami każdego dnia, te czynniki pozwalają nam na to, żebyśmy zrobili taki cykl badawczy.
Creo que ya he dicho todo, o casi todo. Cualquier pregunta podéis escribirla en los comentarios del vídeo o donde sea publicado el vídeo.
Myślę, że powiedziałem wszystko, bądź prawie wszystko, a jeśli macie jakieś pytania, to proszę zadajcie je pod tym wideo.
Gracias por vuestra atención.
Dziękujemy za waszą uwagę.
Y gracias a ti, Milena.
Gracias a ti, Kalo. Dziękujemy.
Chao.
Ciao.